Welcome to No Sides in Our Circle-Porcast. In this circle of thoughts, we collaborate with great minds to build and to uplift while having controversial conversations with truth, honesty, and healing. Although our worldviews are different, each episode will be packed with power, education, experience, friendship, and laughter.
We say welcome to those of you listening to No Side in Our Circle-Porcast. I am Daniel Diaz.
Miss T here.
It's your boy Big Kurt.
It is a pleasure to join you again to present you another program of No Sides in Our Circle. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. Well, before we start, we still have to remember we have 1/4 of our team. It's not here right now, but dealing with some personal matters. But we're here for him.
That's right. We're talking about Mr. Virgil. He is not able to be with us tonight. Please keep him in your thoughts because he's one of ours. We love him dearly, and we hope everything is going well for him.
Just lift him up and his family in prayer. He's dealing with grief right now.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of grief, it's a lot of it going on out there. And as a member or a citizen of this world, we cannot just sit by and pretend as if everything is going right. And we have to reach out to each other and lend a hand when we can to support our brothers who are in need. Before we move on, guys, how was your day?
My day was good. No complaints.
Your day was good.
It was good.
It's like you say your day was good.
It's good.
I don't feel the energy, you know? It's like...
Did you have to go to work?
Yes.
Your day was good. We're not going to do more than that. You had to go to work. We gave you enough.
It was good.
It was good. I mean,
life is amazing. Life is awesome.
Yes.
Life is always amazing. Life is always awesome.
I woke up this morning. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that.
So you thankful because you wake up? What if you didn't wake up?
Well,
would you be thankful?
I don't know. In the spirit, at the gates of heaven.
At the gates of heaven.
Yeah, knocking on the gate. Hey, Jesus, y'all gonna let me in? Remember me?
Oh Lord,
remember all them prayers?
Again.
You know.
Let's hope that the Holy Spirit doesn't come down in this room right now.
Why not? That's a great thing. We need it.
It's not gonna come down because I'm here anyway.
Why not?
Huh?
It's not scared of you.
It is afraid of me.
No, you afraid of it.
That is another subject. What's going on, KK?
And like I said, I'm blessed to be here. I went to work, so hey. But I'm blessed to have the job that I do have. I don't take it for granted, but I'm blessed to be here so far. The day's not over yet, but I'm blessed to be here with you guys.
Thank you. We're glad to have you too. I mean, I don't know. I'm always having a wonderful day, and I'm glad because, hey, I love life.
As we should.
Yes.
I love life. I love living, man. I mean, I know, I always say that, right? When I die, it's not going to be a pretty day. It's not going to be a pretty day at all. Because those people down there going to know that I'm coming and they're not going to like it. I'm going to bring the peace. I mean, it's too quiet from what I understand down there. It's too quiet. I cannot be over down there. No.
We don't know that.
Yeah, I heard it's quiet. It's too quiet. I don't like when it's so chaotic. Well, I don't like when it's very quiet.
Why? Solitude is good at times.
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean about solitude?
To have some peace.
Some peace?
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to have some solitude at some point.
I mean,
even every day. Every day, you have to take time to have a solitude.
To meditate and everything.
Yeah.
For how long? About 30 minutes, right?
It's good for your mental. Yeah,
about 30 minutes. Good.
Everybody need a mental break. You need to take a break from all the distractions sometimes.
Yeah. About 30 minutes, right?
Hey, whatever's good for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's 5 minutes.
That's good. I'll take 5 minutes.
5, 10, 30, an hour, whatever you can get in. Right?
Which is good.
Okay.
I'll try to take more than that.
That should be something that's mandatory.
What?
Taking time out for, to yourself. I think that should be mandatory for all humans. I think the world will be better like that. I really do.
How do you implement that?
I don't know. But it has to be something that has to come, like...
Do you get paid for that?
No, you don't get paid for it.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Get paid for taking the time?
You
time out?
benefit because you benefit from it.
That's true. Yeah, you do benefit.
That's your
from
payment.
That. You will benefit. I really believe that. You will benefit from that. I do.
A lot of people don't know themselves.
What about when you go to sleep? Aren't you taking time?
No. I'm talking about when you are aware, when, stresses are coming your way, whether it be dealing with family, friends, whatever the case is, work. I think at some point, every day somebody should take, just like when we went to school, there was homework. Mm-hmm. Every day, everybody should take a day to themselves, some time to themselves. I don't care if it's 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever the case is.
You're talking about during the day.
During the day, every single day. I don't care what time you want to do it, but it should be a time of just peace.
Yeah.
Aren't we do that all the time?
Who?
No, not a lot of people don't do that all the time.
No.
Because you can tell.
Well, when you go to work, you have a
That's not
30-minute break or
that's not peace.
an hour break and things like that. Isn't that a time to yourself?
You can use that time,
Yeah.
but most people don't.
Well, why not?
Because they're eating. So you're distracted by something.
And you're worrying about going back.
What you need to do, you make sure you eat before you take your break. That's what I do.
Yeah, but your mind's still occupied with work.
No, I go to sleep.
Well, that's you. But I understand what he's saying. Just to be away from everything.
Everyone.
Your daily routine.
Even within your own household.
Yeah.
I think everyone's obligated to have that time.
That's good.
They should have that
They should
time.
have
that time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since you proposed that, I think you can write
it should be mandated like they mandated masks.
The legislation and take it to to the Senate and the House of Representatives so they can.
It is highly recommended that people need to take some time out to really get to know themselves, to work on themselves.
That's pretty good. Highly recommended.
Yeah, we need that.
So does that have to do with everything that's going on today because we don't take time out?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think this should have been done a long time ago if they were to do it. Because, back then we didn't have the knowledge of, of taking time to yourself, seeking help, whatever the case is, mental awareness. Mental awareness. We didn't have that back then. But now we have, with all the technology things that's going on now, we have a lot of information. Now that I'm aware, I think everybody needs to have like a mental break every day to themselves. If anyone interferes with that, to hell with them. They interfere with that. To hell with them for interfering with my thing, man.
It's a crime.
A crime.
It's a crime if they interfere.
Yeah, if they interfere, it's a crime.
They get
punishable
arrested.
by $500. Fine.
They pay you that $500.
Yes. I can't get that time back.
That'll be good.
I can't get that time back. I want it back.
Oh, man.
I would like to be interrupted
funny.
by a guy like Jeff Bezos who has a deeper pocket that can pay me a lot more than $500.
Oh, God.
Like Elon, guys like that. I want them to interrupt me when I'm taking my mental break.
So you could charge them more money?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those guys they won't be interrupting anybody because they're not trying to give up no money.
No,
that's for sure.
They're trying to make
the
more
way
money.
The way Elon is going, it looks like he's throwing a lot away. So with that Twitter thing, it's like this guy is throwing a lot of money away. He could afford giving me, paying me more than $500 for interrupting me.
I think, but taking a break though, a mental break, it's almost similar to the what happened with the pandemic. Everybody sat down when the pandemic hit. Everybody sat down.
It was great
to think.
Oh yeah,
you had time to think and reflect and like, man, this is a lot more. I'm worth more than worth more now. Everybody, it seems like everybody.
I don't know if you're aware of it. I've had COVID and I've had a lot of time to myself, locked up in the room by myself with a lot of books and YouTube, of course. I mean, I think they deserve to give me a degree. YouTube. I got to write them. a lot of YouTube videos and everything. And the first week I've had almost, 22 days in my womb. And the second one was like 15 days.
Wow.
It was great. Yeah,
I mean,
I think everyone should have it.
It's not awesome that you had go, but at the same time, you had time.
You had time for myself.
Relax. Think, open up your mind a little bit more. And then when you come back, it's like, why?
Why?
Why am I here? I'm worth more than this.
What is my purpose?
Yes.
What is my purpose? Well, it was a pleasure chatting with you guys. And today we're going to talk about something that is very important to, I think, all of us, mental health. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much the same thing we were talking about. We noticed that mental health is rampant in our society today. And I don't know if it is because of technology that a lot of people haven't been paying attention to it. Mental health is a pandemic, in my opinion. I don't know why the CDC is wasting time in declaring mental health a pandemic in America. I was reading some statistics today, a couple weeks ago. Suicide is the third actually leading cause of death between teenagers age 15 and 24. And this is crazy. A lot of people are losing it. I've lost it. Oh, yeah. I've had some mental breakdown.
Haven't we all?
A couple of months ago, I was like to the point where, golly, I'm a failure. I don't know why am I here? And I question these things. And I think we need to start talking about mental health in a way where we haven't spoken about it before, more seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
So many people are losing it today. And when you're looking at the media, you can see it.
It's part of the problem, too. The media is part of the problem.
Yeah. The biggest gang.
You say they are the part of the problem.
Yes, absolutely. It contributes.
Big part.
How do you justify that opinion?
Everything you see in the media is pressure. It's stress. It's division. It's murder. It's just constant negativity. Or you have the comparison problems, the body image. Everybody want to look perfect. They want the perfect car, house. They want more money. The world is just constant pressure everywhere. People are suffering because of that.
But do we blame the media for that? We blame?
It is a part.
They're part of it.
It can be part of the problem, but I don't
Right.
think it's genuinely the problem.
I didn't say it was
Are
genuine.
we living
but
in a
it is-
society that is too materialistic?
I'll give an example of how the media is a problem. I watch sports a lot, especially the NBA. You got the thing with Kyrie Irving. Now, you know how I feel about him. T's little brother. With this whole Sage thing that he used to do and the whole mask thing and stuff like that. But even with the mask thing, a lot of times when he speaks, he speaks and doesn't have backup. He doesn't back up what he's saying. But this point about the mask and about the I forgot the thing he was doing just now.
What's that?
With Kyrie Irving, I forgot what it was. But even with the mask.
You talking about the controversy with the statement?
Yes, with the statement of watching the
was
show
made.
called Hebrews to Negroes or whatever.
Right.
Now, he didn't ever articulate whatever he wanted to say, but I agree with him expressing himself. I agree with him saying that, you know what, I don't want to take the vaccination. I agree with him on that. That's his choice. But when the media, this is how the media gets involved. When the media portrays him as a bad guy and label him as he's just a nut, he's just crazy, right? They'll point to the whole sage thing. I don't know if you ever aware, but there's a video out there of him putting a sage thing in the middle of the court in Boston. Then he does, certain things that he does, the tweet stuff, the earth is flat and all these other things. But the media has a lot to do with that by labeling him because everybody watches the media.
Right.
I don't want to cuss on this, but A lot of people are attention whores. That's what they are.
Right.
We like to watch and see who gets the attention, and they just like watching controversy.
Yeah.
So the media controls all of that. They sell the drug. The product is,
controversy.
The controversy. That's the product, and they sell it, and then they'll deem this guy crazy when he's not. He's making a point. It's the same thing they did with Colin Kaepernick. The media controlled the narrative. The guy talked about, listen, police brutality and all this other stuff. It took years before George Floyd started to happen. Then the NFL, which he was a part of,
right,
and the media decided they wanted to take a knee also. So no longer it was about the flag then. But then it was back then it was about the flag, but now it's about George Floyd, yes, police brutality. So the media is the biggest part of what, was this whole thing. I blame the media. I give 80% of it to them.
I can understand that they are part of the problem because they like to add salt and pepper to anything to make it bigger than what it is. I can understand that. But we have a society where people become too interested in material stuff. So many people today are living because they want the next person to see the car that they are driving, the nice house they have, instead of living a life where they are comfortable, a life where they don't have to work 2-3 jobs to show off what they have, to show off a car that they barely can drive because they don't have time, a house that they have, but they barely have time to sleep in it because they're working 2-3 jobs. And when you keep doing things like that every day, constantly, it's going to catch up with you. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the media in my opinion. It's the way, the possessions, the things that we have. Do you know that today, if you can open up a storage, one of those storage places, you'll be making a whole lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Because people ran out of spaces at their homes to store things that they have. Now they go to those storage rent. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. But the people lack meaning for their life. So they define themselves by the things that they collect. They define themselves by the title of their jobs, by the money they have in their bank accounts. And we can go back to what we were talking about solitude. So when you have more time to yourself and you have to do internal work, that's a process, and it's a hard process to work through your problems, to work through your stuff. And if you want to search for meaning and purpose in your life, it has nothing to do with your bank account.
That's right.
It has nothing to do with your job. And that's why people are having it. And the media has something to do with that, because people define themselves by what other people think they have. Yeah. So they want to have this because they feel like, because they lack meaning for their life, and they feel like if I fulfill it with all this stuff, now people are going to like me. They're going to see me. I get more clout, and it's going to make them feel better about themselves. But when it really don't.
I think it's about the choice that you make.
Yeah, but what choice do they have if this is what they think it's supposed to be? Right? Let's just talk about this country itself, right? This is a capitalistic country, right? Mm-hmm. Everything is about money. Everything is about moving fast. It's the American dream, right?
But do you have to move fast yourself?
What, you ain't gonna get nowhere if you move slow, right? Because that's what they're training people. That's what they tell you before you even came to this country, right? Mm-hmm. You thought about the American dream, like most people do when they come here. They want the house with the white fence and the 2 dogs and the perfect kids and the wife and all these things and the perfect job. Everybody wants that. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave and whatever else they're selling to people. But when you get here, the struggle is real, right? Yeah. It's a different story. But you work hard still to obtain those things. You're not thinking about your internal being. You're not thinking about what is my purpose when I come here, when you came here. You wasn't thinking about the meaning for your life. You was thinking about how you can obtain whatever you think the American dream is.
Well, I define personally what the American dream is for me. I do not let anybody define that. That's the way I look at it.
Now you do.
I've always
Well,
believed that what they want me to believe is the American dream is never what it is.
Well, you are one of the few.
Because I don't believe that the house that I have, the car that I have defines who I am. I never believed that.
No, but you just made a statement earlier that you had a breakdown because you want to know why you're here. You want to understand your purpose, right?
That's a different thing.
It's just, it all ties
That is
into that.
That is a different thing. I'm having my breakdown not because
People suffer because they lack meaning in their life and they lose hope internally.
when I say that I have my breakdown, it doesn't have anything to do with the material stuff that I want to have in my life.
That's not
to
what
give
I'm
me the
saying.
meaning.
Absolutely.
That's not what it was.
I'm saying the opposite.
It's absolutely different from the type of mental health that we're seeing going on in our society today.
It's because they lack meaning. So they're trying to find it. They don't know what their purpose is. They want to feel good about themselves. People want to feel good emotionally all the time. You're not going to always feel good searching for meaning for your life.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. People lack emotional intelligence.
I've seen
They lack the ability to think for themselves. They just want to feel good. Even when people get in relationships, they want to feel good about their relationship. They want to feel good about their job. They want to feel good about everything that they do. And that's just not realistic. So they constantly search for things that gives them temporary satisfaction emotionally, and they attach themselves to those things. Mm-hmm. But they don't look for real meaning.
Yeah.
And they start losing hope for their lives. It doesn't matter if they got $1 billion. Yeah. They're still depressed. They're still jumping off buildings and killing themselves.
They have it all and they still it's not happy.
But you don't have it all.
They don't have no meaning.
So at the end of the day, this conversation is concerning what I call a pandemic in our society. A pandemic that is causing so many people to take their own lives. And I understand what you're saying, but people don't have the meaning, the purpose in their lives.
Right. So they become hopeless.
They become hopeless.
Right.
But I don't believe it starts from there.
Starts from where?
Does it
depression?
Start from
anxiety?
All
of the symptoms that they're feeling.
There is a reason why I come to a point where I feel that I don't have any purpose for living, for life.
Right.
It starts from somewhere.
Yeah,
and where does it start?
There's no cookie cutter for the beginning of how people problems start. And there's no cookie cutter to fix them. We're all unique. We all view the world different. We both can be in the same situation. All of us can be in the same situation and react totally different because our worldviews are different. Our experiences are different. Our culture is different. Our peers are different. Everything is different.
So do you believe there's no cure for this thing?
There's
only treatment.
There's treatment. Right.
But there's no cure for it.
The cure is to help people find meaning for their life. If they look at it's all about your perception, how you view things. It's not really always the actual problem. It's just the way you view the problem. And then you feel the effects of it because you look at it different from me.
Yeah.
We can go through the same thing and I can have a different perspective about whatever the situation was. You can become depressed and I can be okay. Mm-hmm. So I think people need to get help and people need just to be honest with themselves and be open to get help. Therapy, counseling, psychologists, psychiatrists.
How do you, especially in the Black community, and a lot culturally too, how do you get someone to get the help? Like if I could come to someone like, for example, I have people that's from the Caribbean and it's been a thing where they don't seek counseling. But how do you go about trying to get people, especially people in our community, to get the counseling with the new technology and stuff like that, the new information that's out there now about mental health, how do you get people to
So we want to destigmatize the stigma that's on Black communities and culture and mental health. The same way we do with everything else. Make it normal. You understand what I'm saying? Give information, psychoeducation, and let people know, hey, listen, I went to therapy. Maybe you should try it. Maybe if they can see changes in the people that's closely around you that do go to therapy and see how they benefit from it, then they can talk about it on the media and the social platforms to help normalize it to where it's not what they would say, quote unquote, crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're all a mess. If you're a human being, you're a mess.
Yeah.
We're all going to go through something. We're all going to have temporary meltdowns. Some people have different severities of it, depending on how resilient you are. Some people heal fast and get through things and others just don't. Yeah. Everybody have different ways of coping. But overall, we want people to have healthy coping mechanisms. And that's the information that needs to be put out there, that you don't necessarily have to be crazy. They have to understand that every human being goes through some type of grief, sadness, depression,
trauma.
I mean, all type of things. We're like a big gumbo pot of soup. Every person is just mixed up with all type of stuff. And there's no, like I said before, there's no cookie cutter way to fix everybody. Everybody has to be given a unique program, a treatment plan to help make them better, But if we don't talk about it and have positive conversations about the things that we're going through instead of making fun of people, picking at them, calling them crazy, and because nobody wants to be labeled with anything that other people don't like. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't want to feel judged. So nobody talks about it or have conversations about it, but use the media and the platform to make it normal. So where people feel comfortable to say, hey, I went through this, I went to therapy, it worked for me, but mental awareness and having open conversations with family and friends and gatherings and things, this stuff should be happening.
Yeah.
How do you have conversation where when people just don't believe in whatever you're talking about?
I mean, it's fine. They don't have to. We can't force anything on anybody. But what I've learned, especially coming from a childhood of trauma and mental illness and stuff in my family, when you're hurting really bad and people get real desperate and they want to get better, because if they didn't, they wouldn't go using recreational drugs and start abusing substances and things to make themselves feel better or try to numb the pain out. At some point, people want to feel better. They just don't know how. So even if they act like they don't want to hear it, you can still have a conversation about it. I mean, but we can't force people to get help. But I think the more normal mental awareness becomes, the more comfortable people will feel about having conversations about it and getting help.
How do you get help? A lot of people don't know how.
Crisis hotline.
It is definitely not easy.
There's various ways now.
Everybody has
go to religion.
access
Some
to
people
the
go
media.
to yes.
You can literally Google help, mental help, whatever they want to Google, and they can have access to all type of. It's not like it was.
Well, it's easy to say you can Google.
You can Google everything,
but guess what? I don't think it's that easy to say you can just Google, because let me tell you what happened.
You can't Google.
Let me tell you what happened.
If they could Google porn and everything else they want to look at.
Well, that's the problem.
Okay, so
a lot of people,
if they want to get some help, they'll Google. If they Google everything.
A lot of people don't know if they're going into a crisis.
Ask Siri and Alexa. Let me tell you something.
A lot of people don't know if they are going into a crisis.
Let me tell you something about us as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you're having a crisis. Everybody knows when they're having a crisis. Even when you have mental health issues and psychological problems, everyone knows when they're having a crisis.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it they know they don't want to admit it, or is it
they know. They know.
because I've seen
it's just like pain, right? Physical pain. Everybody knows when they feel physical pain, unless you have some type of condition where you just can't, which is a rare condition. You know, I don't care what type of psychosis you in. You know when you feel physical pain. You know when you feel mental and emotional pain. You know how you want to deal with it. I mean, that's a whole nother problem. But you know when you're in pain.
Yeah, because I've known so many people who just like outright don't believe there's such thing as mental health.
Because they're in denial.
Lack of knowledge.
I don't know.
Lack of knowledge.
I don't know what it is, but they outright don't believe in that.
Yeah, it could be cultural.
Listen, I was one of
religion.
I was one of those ones. I categorized mental health as someone who was, let's say, suffer from retardation or anything like that.
Bipolar, schizophrenia.
That's why I associated that with. But with new technology, new information, and the media, sometimes they portray it out there because there's information out there. I'm not saying all media is bad, but there's some information out there that the media does put out that's good. With new technology, man, we all going through it. We all went through it at some point in our lives. Mm-hmm. If you don't believe you haven't done so. And that's the definition of mental health. That's part of what it is. Right now, for the first time, I'll call my girl and the thing I'll ask her is, hey, babe, how's your mental? I need to know how your mental is right now at this point. Usually it'd be like, hey, how you doing? That's it. Mm-hmm. But now it's like, hey, babe, how's your mental now? How is it today? Is it good? Cool? And I would like for her to ask me the same thing because, man, we all going through it and we don't say anything. We hold everything in. Mm-hmm. And we're not back then we didn't think that we were going through anything. It's nothing. You can hold that, especially as, black. Like we just it's nothing. I don't go through that.
Yeah, because we feel like, oh, okay, we survived the mental adversity of slavery.
Yeah.
So we can handle anything. But in reality, we carry the trauma from slavery. And it's been passed down from generation to generation. But we're too afraid to get help. Or sometimes there's lack of access. Yeah. They can't afford it and things like that. But now they do have resources that can help when you can't afford it. There's places and things that, places people can go to get help now. Before they didn't have that.
Sometimes talking to people is free. It's just a simple conversation of getting your state of mind out there. Hey, this is what I'm going through. That's free.
Yeah.
Finding a loved one that you confide in, that's free. That should be free. So there's help out there. There's ways of getting help, even if you want to speak to whatever your higher belief is. But that's free. Yeah. But there's ways of getting help. So
yeah. But our communities, it's tough, because we have all this mistrust. We don't trust each other. There's, especially from the days of slavery, we were used for medical experiments and we were exploited, mixed diagnosed and all that. Well, I get it, I get it. But now you have people that look like us that can also help you, but we don't trust the system that we feel that wasn't created for us. But what we can do is get out of that mindset.
How do you get out of that mindset? That was going to be my question. How do you get out of that mindset?
Information, like he said. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now we have more access to the information. Utilize the information. Yeah. This is not about you trusting the system. This is about you getting help for yourself and for your family.
And something you said, professionally, we need to start hiring more psychologists into our so we can be able to trust to go to someone that may look like me. Because if I go to someone that look like me, I may be able to, listen, he or she can maybe relate to what I'm going through at times, So I think professionally that needs to, I don't know what the statistics are for black
what
psychologists or psychiatrists and stuff like that. But
it's not very high. Last time I checked, it was about 2%.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, because we don't go into these fields because we don't feel like they're important.
Yeah.
Because we don't utilize it.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think that's done purposely though?
was just think about it. Do you think that was done purposely?
I mean, I think it's because of the hesitation comes from the mistrust in the system. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to talk to those people. So if you are already reluctant to talk to somebody like that, why would you go into that profession?
Yeah.
You understand? Because they don't trust it. They already don't believe in it.
I like to say a lot of the things that we do it because we associate. We have somebody else that we know we can associate to that field. You understand what I mean? Let's say a lot of people who become a doctor, they become a doctor because mom or pap was a doctor.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went to college, I was about to study psychology.
Right.
And because I didn't have any information at all about psychology, 2 years into the program, I changed my major. Because I listened to a lot of people who were not associated with the program telling me, oh, no, you won't be able to find a job if you're a psychologist.
Which is not true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I remember that too.
A lot of people were telling me, no, oh my gosh, you're not going to find a job. You're not going to.
Is that form of social worker, being a psychologist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So social workers can also do therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I didn't have anybody else that I can, go to.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Who's in the field, who has a general idea or general knowledge of the field to guide me and say, oh, no, don't listen to those crazy people. I didn't know what they're talking about.
Right.
I didn't have that.
Right. And you believed it.
I just believed it.
Right.
I went when I was going to college, I took a psychology class. Mm-hmm. And the same thing. It was like, man, this don't get you no money. This doesn't get you
no money. That doesn't give you any job.
And this is back then.
This is way back.
2022. 2002.
You giving out your age.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, 22. I went to college around that time. And it's so crazy because when I looked at the book, the teachers talking, I'm like, no, I'm not going through this, man. This doesn't give me any type of money or help me with any type of thing that I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't need this.
So at the end of the day, I believe if you cannot associate yourself with someone who actually works in the field and who can give you some guidance or mentorship,
right,
it's really hard to get into those fields.
I don't know anyone.
I have no idea.
But
let me not say that because
but I went into the field.
I know somebody.
Let me not say anything because I have a therapist that I know. He started he told me about very late. He was 50. He was in his 50s when he started.
Right.
And now he's telling me that, I think you have the know-how to be a psychologist, and I like the way you. No. It's already too late.
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, the average age of people that become therapists and stuff, it's usually later on in their 40s.
Exactly.
Is that because, with age, you gain a lot of experience in life?
I believe so. I believe that plays a part of it. And I believe that some people are just called to do certain things. And I believe that because it's a field that you have to like. It's a field that you have to be, I personally feel, called to do. Yeah. Because it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of listening. And you're not here to fix people or even advise them. You're here simply to help guide them through things that they already know how to do. They just don't know that they exist inside of them.
Yeah.
So you're there as a guide. You're the passenger. They're the driver. But you're there to give them techniques, to give them coping skills, to help guide them through whatever these issues that they're distressed about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like a part of it is a calling, and early on, I believe people know that it's a part of them. And then with life experience, then they decide, you know what, I think, I'm going to take a shot at this.
Let me ask you a question. You being in that field on a day-to-day basis, how many people you come across?
Oh my God.
That just comes to you? Because now we know the information about mental health, like everybody's going through it. How many people comes to you on a day-to-day basis with the issues that they do have?
If I mention anything about therapy and somebody know I might be in school or something, it's over for me. It's over.
But naturally too, right?
People just want to tell you everything. Oh my God. Well, and they have questions. So to me, because I said everybody has issues.
Yeah.
Everybody can benefit from counseling. Doesn't mean you crazy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes things get overwhelming and distressing, and you may not have the right techniques, coping skills, and things, and you don't want to deal with them in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
And you may not have the support system. Go see a therapist. Yeah. Go to counseling. It's okay. Work through that stuff. Get rid of it. And so you can move on in a healthy way. And you can keep those skills and you can utilize some of those things and help someone else.
If you want to be part of the conversation, please remember to subscribe. Remember to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever social media platform that you use. We are part of it. We are no sides in our circle. And we'll be right back.
Welcome to No Sides in Our Circle podcast.
In this circle of thoughts, we collaborate with great minds to build and to uplift while having controversial conversations with truth, honesty, and healing. Although our worldviews are different, each episode will be packed with power, education, experience, friendship, and laughter.
Yes, we are back. We do thank you so very much for being part of this conversation. And like I mentioned, if you want to continue to be part of this conversation, please subscribe. Please become a member of this team. And if there is anything that you would like us to discuss, any subject that you want us to discuss, feel free. Let us know. Leave a comment. And we'll be more than happy to start the conversation. Yeah. T, we were talking about counseling, right? So it is hard to go to a counselor. It is hard to sit in front of somebody and telling him or her what's going on. It is hard to actually face the situation that you're going through. Mind you, telling somebody else.
Right. But it's even harder to live with the pain and the suffering. And it's like, why choose to live that way when you can free yourself of whatever it is, whatever trauma, whatever pain, whatever distress, whatever grief, whatever you're dealing with at that time? Why choose, like you said before, we get to choose, right? So we get to choose our happiness. Sometimes we even get to choose our suffering. Mm-hmm. Some things you're just going to go through. There's nothing you can do about it. But why not change the things that you can?
I think people are afraid of judgment.
You don't have to tell anybody. And the therapist, they have to be confidential with your information. They can't tell anybody what's going on
just to go to someone and, damn, this guy's going to judge me. Because, you never know. Somebody's gone through it worse that you're speaking to. You never know. But we still have that thing where we're afraid to be judged by someone else. It don't matter if it's a stranger or not. We're afraid to be judged.
Speaking of that, I was talking to a friend of mine that, but I think, the way I see you need some help. No, I don't need any help. The therapist need a therapist. Just like that.
Every therapist has a therapist, just to let you know.
So at the end of the day, you see the mistrust there?
Yeah. But that's between that person. That's their perception of it, But it's like, all I'm saying is, why suffer when you don't have to? When you can have a fulfilling life and be happy. You keep buying things that don't mean anything. You keep trying to fill a void with suppressing everything, ignoring whatever you're feeling and dealing with your issues, but they're not going to go away. Wherever you go, they follow you. I don't care if you buy a new house, a new car, you get a new job, you change all these things, you get a new wife, you get new kids. Whatever it is you do.
Okay, you get a new kid too?
Yeah, because they keep having kids from different women and they change up their relationships. They move to another state, another country. They get a new job. I'm going to reinvent my life. But guess what? Your problem's going to stay with you. Mm-hmm. And they're going to follow you. And sooner or later, they start hunting people.
So basically, the best thing that people need to do is to face the music.
Yes. Deal with whatever the
It's hard.
issues are. Yes, it's a hard process. But once you get through the process, you can move on.
Well,
Or you just live through the suffering and the torment and the emotional buildup and the chaos for the rest of your life.
if you have any problem, or if you know of anybody who has a problem and who needs assistance, who just needs somebody to talk to, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It is 988. This is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. You'll be able to find somebody to talk to. It is free. You don't have to pay anything. That's the best part of 988.
Right. There's so many resources available that are free now.
That you can use to better yourself.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to pay. That's the best part of everything in America, especially when it comes to your mental health.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for this.
Right.
It's free. 988. Please call the number. And if you need a podcast to listen to, it is No Sides in Our Circle. We are your friends, and we want you to be part of this conversation. If you want to be part of the conversation, please leave us a comment on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the social network that you're part of. We'll do everything to respond to your comments or your questions. We want to be part of you, and we want you to be part of us. We want you to be part of this conversation. Anything else before we close?
To everyone out there that's listened to our podcast, No Sides in Our Circle, just want to let you guys know you are part of our circle, and there's no sides over here. So please, again, subscribe. And to everyone that's going out there, everyone out there that's going through something, please get help, seek help. Like I said, help is free, and it doesn't cost you a penny, but it may cost you peace. It may bring you peace. So seek help, and I'm praying for everybody out there with the mental health. That's pretty much everybody now.
Well, don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed of. I mean, people tend to be ashamed of whatever is going on in their lives. You're not a loser. You're not. You need to know that. You're not the only one, and you are not going to be the last one. So you are not a loser, and I know that I am not. And that's the reason why I seek help. I like to stop by. I mean, when I'm driving somewhere, I like to stop and ask a question. Hey, I'm lost. That saved me a lot of time. If you feel lost, stop. Seek help. It works. This was No Sides in Our Circle. We do thank you for being part of this conversation. Like I said, continue the conversation, please, on Facebook, YouTube, and all of your social networks.
Welcome to No Sides in Our Circle podcast.
In this circle of thoughts, we collaborate with great minds to build and to uplift while having controversial conversations with truth, honesty, and healing. Although our worldviews are different, each episode will be packed with power, education, experience, friendship, and laughter.